So, we're going to talk more about how reality has just been replaced with this completely fake and visceral pseudo-reality. Alright, now, this just came across my feeds. China firm plans world's first pregnancy humanoid robot using artificial womb. Okay. The innovation uses artificial amniotic fluid and nutrient delivery via hose, replacing natural gestation now to be integrated into humanoid robots. And this was written 2 days ago. A Chinese tech firm is racing to deliver what could be the world's first gestation robot. The idea from Kaiwa Technology, based in Guangzhou, involves a humanoid designed with an artificial womb embedded in its abdomen, intended to carry a fetus through 10 months of gestation and deliver a baby, according to Chinese media outlets. Slated for debut by 2026 and expected to sell for under 100,000 won, roughly 13,900 US, the robot aims to offer a pregnancy alternative for those who wish to avoid the burdens of human gestation. The announcement has triggered intense public discourse, from ethical unease to hopeful possibilities for the infertile. Recently, Chinese researchers introduced AIR, the world's first AI-powered breeding robot capable of autonomous cruising and cross-pollination to cut costs, shorten cycles, and boost efficiency. China unveils world's first autonomous robot for hybrid pollination. Okay, this is to pollinate flowers. That's what this is. It's a genome editing. But it combines genome editing with AI robotics. But they're labeling it as a breeding robot. Humanoid birth machine. The bold vision of a humanoid surrogate pregnancy robot was presented at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing by Zhang Guifeng, founder of Kaiwa Technology and affiliated with Nanyang Technological University, according to something. According to Guifeng, now I want to call him something else, but I'm not going to do that. It is not merely an incubator, but a life-size humanoid equipped with an artificial womb in its abdomen, capable of replicating the entire process from conception to delivery. And see, then they're going to fuse this with the sex robots and just completely render women obsolete. Because, just completely obsolete. Humanity's being replaced. The core innovation lies in artificial womb technology, where a fetus develops in the artificial amniotic fluid and receives nutrients through a hose, mimicking natural gestation. Dr. Zhang claimed the technology is already mature in the laboratory settings and now needs integration into a humanoid form to enable real human-robot interaction during pregnancy. See, just what I said. They're integrating it, and they're going to fuse this with sex robots. Guifeng anticipates that a prototype of his pregnancy robot will be ready within a year, priced at under $13,900. On the topic of ethical and legal considerations, he says discussions have already been held with the authorities in the Guangdong province, and related proposals have been submitted as part of ongoing policy and legislative deliberations. Okay, now if you want to be a business in China, you have to let the Chinese government and Communist Party involved, and so they're at the influence of all of this. While it may not be, directly correlated to that, you go down the rabbit hole, and it's just Communist Chinese Party bred sex robots replacing all life on Earth as we know it. See, this is the this is the next wave of the mind control. You think the shit in the universities is bad and the political correctness? This is the next wave of that. AI breeds the future. Artificial wombs have shown promising results in animal studies. In 2017, researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia successfully nurtured a premature lab equivalent to 23 weeks of human pregnancy, in a bio bag, a transparent vinyl sac filled with warm saline-based artificial amniotic fluid. Nutrients were delivered via a tube attached to the umbilical cord, allowing the lamb to grow wool within 4 weeks. Animal-human hybrids. Chimeras. Animal-robot hybrids. Like Beyond Meat, the artificial plant-based meat company, that went bankrupt. Nobody bought that. Nobody wants this. Florida, I think, even made it illegal. However, current artificial wombs function more like a neonatal incubator supporting life only after partial gestation. For Dr. Zhang's concept to work, the technology must advance to support fertilization, implantation, and full-term pregnancy. Details he did not disclose, leaving questions about the scientific, ethical, and legal challenges ahead. Another notable development showcased at the 2025 World Robot Conference is the world's first AI-powered breeding robot integrating artificial technology, artificial intelligence, and biotechnology to revolutionize crop breeding. Led researchers at the Institutes of Genetics and Developmental Biology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, a team used gene editing to create male sterile flowers, enabling the robot to produce hybrid seeds efficiently. Combined with advanced methods like de novo domestication and speed breeding, genetic engineering AI forms the world's first artificial intelligent robotic breeding factory capable of rapidly generating high-quality plant varieties. GEAR has already been applied to develop a male sterile soybean system. I mean, you don't even need really. I mean, soy just kills testosterone, so I don't even know why you would put the word male in there. Potentially boosting China's hybrid breeding capacity and crop yields. Zhu noted that the project establishes a closed-loop system for intelligent, fully autonomous robotic breeding, pioneering AI-driven agriculture, and then they're going to mix that with nanotechnology and put that in the food. Which will then integrate into your digestive system, be absorbed into your nervous system, and go and travel into your brain, and then you're just completely enslaved. And this is all coming out of China. That is the new wave of the communist takeover. Now let's look at AI in the United States. Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok started calling itself Mecha Hitler. That's where we're at. Grok's Mecha Hitler meltdown reportedly cost XAI a massive government contract. Actions have consequences. Okay, I loved Elon Musk. My heart went out to him. I bought Tesla stock, and then he had to just go up against Trump and try to do this failed third political party and just completely self-destructed. Elon Musk's XAI empire is leaning into NSFW content. It's a risky move that could pay off. Now, I don't use X frequently, mostly because I have zero reason to go on there and I forget that I have an X account. But, he is making, spicy AI through X, Grok. I mean, he's had Grok on Joe Rogan before where it just changes personalities and does everything. And then you notice the move carries potential risks and could turn off some advertisers from Elon Musk's X platform. Okay, alright. Elon really himself doesn't need any more money. And I found it hilarious that even when he was working with Doge, that he would go and do press briefings with the mainstream media and just argue with him and have his kid crawling all over him because even he couldn't afford or be bothered to pay for childcare. So that probably proves how useless that is. But see, here's the thing with AI, and this is what people don't understand, okay? Bias in AI amplifies our own biases. Artificial intelligence systems tend to take on human biases and amplify them, causing people who use AI to become more biased themselves, finds a new study by UCL researchers. See, they can't eliminate the racism. And then you're going to have all these AI things and all these AI advances and AI artificial breeding. And then you'll just, that's how the white race will be repopulated. Okay, it's through AI and robotics, because white people aren't breeding now. Instead, we all just live walled off in our little prisons, and the fake reality that we're just kind of conditioned into. And then, meanwhile, AI just goes out and replaces humanity. The robots are replacing humanity. Okay? I need to get a timer or something so I know how long I've been doing this. Biases in AI amplifies their own biases. Okay. Human and AI biases can consequently create a feedback loop with small initial biases, increasing the risk of human error according to findings published in Natural Human Behavior. The researchers demonstrated that AI bias can have real-world consequences, as they found people interacting with biased AIs become more likely to underestimate women's performances and overestimate white men's likelihood of holding high-status jobs. See, this is what our AI research in the United States is bringing us. Co-lead author Professor Tal Sherrod said, people are inherently biased. So when we train AI systems on sets of data that have been produced by people, the AI algorithms lean toward the human biases that are embedded in the data. AI then tends to exploit and amplifies these biases to improve its prediction accuracy. Here, we found that people interacting with biased AI systems can then become even more biased themselves, creating a potential snowball effect wherein minute biases in original datasets become amplified by AI, which increases the biases of the person using the AI. Researchers then conducted a series of experiments with over 1,200 study participants who were completing tasks and interacting with AI systems. As a precursor to one of these experiments, the researchers trained an AI algorithm on a data set of participant responses. People were asked to judge whether a group of faces in a photo set looked happy or sad, and they demonstrated its slight tendency to judge faces as sad more often than happy. The AI learned this bias and then amplified it into a greater bias towards judging faces as sad. Another group of participants then completed the same task, but were also told what judgment the AI had made for each photo. After interacting with the AI system for a while, the group of people internalized the AI's biases and was even more likely to say faces looked sad than before interacting with the AI. This demonstrates that the AI learned a bias from a human-derived data set and then amplified the inherent biases of another group of people. Okay, I keep forgetting to get this segment set up. Okay, here is with all of our stuff, and go all do this and do all that, okay? And then I gotta put the YouTube channel on here because we're trying to put more of these on YouTube. Okay, now this is what I was trying to get at, alright? And this is why I need this open. So we gotta move down here. And I forgot to set this up. Okay. See, the Chinese, okay. So as I just read and demonstrated, you see how AI is being programmed to... I should set this up with Photoshop so I could draw it with the mouse, but we're just going to do this because it just goes in a circle. Okay, so AI is having its algorithms written by humans. That's, yeah. It's code written by humans. In universities. This takes place in universities. And the spell check is not working on this. So, forgive me. Okay, this takes place in universities. Okay? The universities are basically leftist controlled areas. Implementing political correctness, gender sciences, and all kinds of leftist racist crap that's, you know, packaged as anti-racists, anti-racism. Basically the culture wars and the mind control. The origin of all of this is the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, if you want to do business in China, the Chinese Communist Party has to be involved. So they get into all of these companies and they do all of that. That's what happens. And the Chinese and Americans will go do business over there. They'll make companies, they'll make startups, and they'll go over there. And the Chinese are very good at figuring out whatever the hell it is we're doing and then just ripping it off. And then mass producing it. That's how that works. So basically, you have China's AI breeding crops, humans, American AI, which is just breeding leftist poli-sci drones that are human. Because this all goes back into a circle. And there's zero regulation towards this. And it gets worse, by the way. What percent of internet traffic is bots? So you have all of these racist biases that's being expounded by American AI and programmed in there because they don't have racism in China like this. They don't have that like they have here. Because there, if someone's, no one cares. If there were, okay, all right, because let's just say that the Klan decided to conduct themselves in China. So everything about the Klan, everything about whatever they've done is exactly the same, but rather than it being the Deep South, it's in communist China. The Klan would not exist very long because they would be taken to a forced labor camp with the Uyghurs. Because the Chinese government goes, oh, well, this is a problem, this is an issue, we're just going to take this away. They don't have democracy there, so thus they don't have the same type of racism and biases. Okay, because when you let people think by themselves and make dependencies based on their own experiences and think for themselves, that's how you get biases. Okay, so what percentage of internet traffic is bots? Research highlights. In 2023, bots made up 49.60% of internet activity. And this was from 2024. Almost catching up to human traffic, which was at 50.0%. Out of all internet traffic, bad bots accounted for 32%, while good bots were 17.60%. The U.S. faced the most bot attacks worldwide, with 47% in total. What percentage of the internet traffic is bots? In 2023, bot traffic hit 49.60%, almost catching up with human traffic. The highest percentage of human traffic on the internet in the last decade was 2019 when it reached 62.80%. It's been steadily going down, and there will eventually get to a point where bot traffic on the internet will overtake humans using it. Okay. Which country experiences the most bot attacks? The United States gets hit with almost half of all global bot attacks, making up for 47% in total. The Netherlands is next at 9%. Okay. This is information warfare being mixed in with AI to slowly create and condition people into a fake alternative reality that just traps us. Okay? Reality as we know it is being replaced. Now, we're going to take a break, and this... we finally have new music to play on the podcast. We're finally getting there. After months of hyping basically the same playlist over and over, it looks like we're finally going to get to a point where I'll be able to do new releases. After a giant fight and a giant argument with everybody and everything. But we're going to be playing, it's an excerpt from the first Ilsa Koch album, which I made in 2013. My mental illness had me threaten some person who ripped me off with the title. I've since renamed the album. And it's going to be available first as a lathe cut record through a vinyl on demand service to test that. And then it will eventually see a CD in some form, similar to the electronic compilation that I just released. But this is noise music, so enjoy and have fun. WinterSolaceProductions.com. Thank you.